Okay.
Okay, first application is application 20044 of Biasi Family Trust, property located in Deer Park.
So we should have Mr. Hennessy on representing the applicant. And the applicant should be on as well, Mr. Bialci. So Denise, I can't unmute them right now.
Application 20044 of Biasi Family Trust, property located in Deer Park. Okay. And are you both on?
We should
Yes.
have Mr. Hennessy on representing the applicant. And the applicant should be on as well, Mr. Bialci.
Okay, I need name and address for the record on both you gentlemen.
I can't unmute them right now.
Application 20044 of Biasi Family Trust, property located in Deer Park. And I need your name and address.
Anthony Biolsi, 550 Ackerson Boulevard, Brightwaters, New York.
Okay. And the other gentleman?
No, Mr. Bialci.
Okay, I need name and address for the record on both you gentlemen.
I can't unmute them right now. Denise, why are we getting that repeat of Mickey's introduction?
I don't know, there's feedback. Everybody's on mute?
And I need your name and address.
Everyone's on mute pretty much, except for Mickey, me, and you right now. So I think it must be coming either from the applicant or Mr. Bialci's computer, but it seems like it's repeating a number of times.
Anthony Biolsi, 550 Ackerson Boulevard, Brightwaters, New York.
Mickey's
I-
introduction.
I am not sure. I don't know, there's feedback. Everybody's on mute?
And I need your name and address.
Everyone's on mute pretty much, except for Mickey, me, and you right now.
Can you hear me?
Coming either from the applicant or Mr. Bialci's computer, but it seems like it's repeating a number of times.
I think the recording has something to do with it.
550 Ackerson Boulevard, Brightwaters, New York.
Mickey's introduction.
I am not sure. I don't know, there's feedback. Everybody's on mute?
All right, so if you could just bear with us while we figure out what's going on. It almost seems like we're hearing the YouTube broadcast simultaneously. It seems like it's repeating a number of times.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we do, sir. We're just trying to figure out what's going on with our recording.
Okay, he needs my name and address, right?
Yeah, we know that you're the applicant, Mr. Bialci. Just give us one moment while we figure out what's going on with the recording.
Okay.
Rachel, you want to try again? Just one person talking at a time?
Yeah, that's who I think it is. And we just had John Shepherd join us.
Okay. I think it was that applicant. The applicants, I checked all our settings, we're good.
Okay. All right, let's try again with Mickey over to you with Mr. Bialsi.
And just one person talking at a time. Let me try and get Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. And we just had John Shepherd join us.
Okay. I think it was that applicant. The applicants, I checked all our settings, we're good.
Okay. All right, let's try again with Mickey. Over to you with Mr. Bialsi.
And just one person talking at a time. Let me try and get Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. We just had John Shepherd join us.
Okay. I think it was that applicant. The applicants, I checked all our settings, we're good.
Okay. All right, let's try again with Mickey. Over to you with Mr. Bialsi.
Just one person talking at a time. Let me try and get Kevin.
Is someone viewing YouTube at the same time?
Oh, no.
We're live on YouTube from me, but that's it. Applicants, I checked all our settings, we're good.
Okay. All right, let's try again.
Rachel, can you get Kevin?
Over to you with Mr. Bialsi.
Yeah,
Is someone viewing YouTube at the same time?
We're live on YouTube from me, but that's it. Applicants, I checked all our settings, we're good. Rachel, can you get Kevin?
That's what happened to me last week, yep.
Okay, let me try. Thank you. Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
Name and address for the record.
Anthony Biolsi, 550 Ackerson Boulevard, Brightwaters.
And who's the other gentleman? Mr. Hennessy, I believe?
Yeah, William Hennessy, 11 Chester Court, Huntington, New York.
Okay, and you both affirm to tell the truth.
I do.
Yes.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 9th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated April 7th, 2020. Approve this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by William T. Holden dated September 19th, 2019. Tax map acting as an area map and
seven photographs.
okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, I mean, the deck was obviously built without a building permit. It's a very minimal increase to the lot area. We're only requesting relief of 1.6% to above the 20% maximum permitted. It meets all the setbacks.
Okay. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Frecchia.
Yes, the deck, does the deck have a railing around it at this point?
Yes, it does.
Okay, and there's no overhead covering or anything to that effect, where it may be closed in the,
No.
No,
Future.
not at all.
okay. All right, Mr. Chairman, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, and we'll keep the record open for 1 week. Thanks, guys. Sorry for all the,
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
Okay. I just talked to Kevin, Denise, and you figured out that if anyone has the YouTube page open, it has to be closed, whether it's you or an applicant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We got it.
All right, perfect.
Okay. Next application is application 20048 of Nicole Steele, property located in West Babylon.
Okay, let me just see if I could find the right person.
She's here. Would you like to admit her?
I'm sorry, Denise?
She's in. I can.
Okay.
The applicant on?
Nicola Steele.
Okay.
Yep. She just has to be unmuted.
Hello,
Hello.
this is Nicola Steele.
Name and address for the record, please.
Nicola Steele, 178 North Arizona Road, Babylon, New York, 11704.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 9th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated April 7th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Gerald O'Buckley dated 8/27/01. Tax map acting as an area map. And,
4 photographs.
okay, would you like to tell us about your application?
Yes, I have a shed in my yard that is very close to the fence. It does not meet the fencing guidelines. That was a shed put down by my husband, and he has all of his stuff stored there. But on June 27, 2017, my husband passed away from a pulmonary embolism. And since he passed away, I didn't have the courage to go into that yet to move out his stuff.
Okay. I'm sorry to hear about your loss. I'm sorry
Thank
about
you so much.
Okay, I'll turn the hearing over to Mr. Weintraub. Mr. Weintraub.
Joe, come here, please.
There we go.
Yeah.
Um,
On the unmute, just so everyone knows, I'm having trouble unmuting.
We good?
Tom could unmute himself.
I thought I did. Okay,
You're on, Tom. Go ahead.
okay. Would you agree, Ms. Steele, that if the shed must come down for some reason and you put it back up, that you put it in a legal location?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's just that I have to empty the shed. It's full of stuff.
Well, it's only if it comes down for some reason. If it's in such bad shape, it has to come down.
No, it's
Okay?
not in bad shape. It's just too close to the fence. In
Right,
excellent shape.
right. But if in many years from now, it gets so corroded that it has to come down, then you will move it to 4
That's
feet.
correct, but let me tell you a plan. I want to move it anyhow. Just gotta get him. Just don't have the courage. But I intend to move
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to leave the record open for 1 week, and then we will make a decision on your application. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Thank you so much.
Next application is application 20063 of Michael Krasinski, property located in West Babylon.
Mr. Krasinski?
Krasnicki, yes, it's Mr. and Mrs., yes.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
Need your name and address for the record, please. I'm on. No, I'm not.
Brianne, you want to try that again?
610 10th Street, West Babylon, New York, 11704.
I didn't get your first name.
Brianne,
Thank
and the
you.
last name is Krasnicki.
Thank you.
Right here. See?
Name and address for the record.
610 10th Street, West Babylon, New York,
Need your first name.
11704. Michael.
Thank you. You both affirm to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 9th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated April 7th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Ambrose, I can't make it out, the last name.
Spalecia?
Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of written on mine, Spalecia. Dated January 16th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map, and
4 photographs.
okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
All we're petitioning for is that the porch that's there now is going to be, the stairs are going to be turned from, they face like our driveway now. They're going to be turned to face the street.
Okay, turn the hearing over to Mr. Winchester.
Thank you. So you're not expanding the size of the porch, you're just turning it?
And it's going a little bit longer than it is now. The width is staying.
Longer.
It's just going a little
Right.
bit longer of the house.
Okay. Would you agree, is there an enclosure or is it covered in any way? Right.
It'll have an overhang.
Okay, so you agree to leave the overhang, but not to enclose it completely? Not to-
Correct.
Very good. I have no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week, and then we will make a decision on your application.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.
You got it. Next application is application 20052 of Capabianco Properties LLC, property located in Lindenhurst.
She's still connecting, Mickey.
Okay.
And we just need to note that there was no Suffolk County planning received on this.
Thanks, Pen.
Okay.
Mickey,
Yes. She connected?
Mick,
Yeah.
Mickey, does Joe have any questions on this one in regards to anything?
There is a number of things on the environmental.
Because I don't have any of that. I can't see.
Okay, there's a number of things on environmental. Joe's on, right? Joe, you on?
Yes, yeah, there's a lot of work that needs to be done on the plan. It's stamped preliminary, what I viewed. I spoke to Kate over the past week about it. She said she's working with him. As long as we note that it's not ready for a building permit somehow, if he gets approved, Kate and I can work on it before he gets the building permit, if the board is okay with that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Is the applicant on?
Is it Capobianco Properties?
Name and address for the record, please.
Philip Capobianco, 110 Surf Road, Lindenhurst, New York.
Okay, and do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 8th, 2020. Environmental control memo dated April 7th, 2020, which we were just talking about. You are working with our gentleman, Mr. Garrido. There's a number of issues that need to be resolved.
No, I didn't.
There is no Suffolk County planning memo on this application. We're gonna have to wait for that.
I don't know. Is this Capobianco Properties we're doing?
Capobianco Properties LLC.
Yes,
Property
sir.
located in Lyndhurst on Lido Prom.
Yes.
There's a survey by Pearl Whirler dated February 25th, 2020. Tax map acting as an area map. And
8 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Excuse me?
What would you like to tell us about the application?
Well, we purchased the house in New York Rising. The house we demoed, we didn't leave any wall up or anything. And there was 7 30-yard containers of material that came out of the inside of the house. We went down to, we were going to at first build, we thought maybe we could build 2 houses. We're gonna live there. We're gonna live there. My wife and I. My mother was gonna live with us. Yes. And we
built this house for that.
Excuse me. In that area, the houses are all raised. And I have neighbors to the north and south of me with almost the same type of problem that I have with the the variance. I'm just looking forward to trying to build a house, nice house in that area.
Okay, thank you. Attorney here.
But I didn't hear you, sir.
I'm sorry. Thank you for your testimony. I'm going to turn the hearing over to one of our board members, Mr. Rigdon.
You said that you demoed the old structure, correct?
Yes, sir.
Footing and all, are you gonna build off the same footprint of the house? Are you gonna join?
No, sir. The footprint of that house was very close to, it was 20, I believe it was 20 or 25 feet from the curb. But we took everything out and foundations, everything. There was much more money than we thought to take down because of the universal waste that was in the house. It was like 6 or 7 containers of garbage.
Okay, so it's all gonna be new from the footing up, everything's.
Yes, everything's gonna be new.
And raised.
All right, I see everything here in the memo. It meets FEMA code and Mr. Chairman, I got no further questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're still waiting on Suffolk County Planning, and also you need to continue rectifying the problems with our environmental control department, right?
What is, what,
We're not aware of any environmental issues.
It's not environment, it's stuff with the plans. Number of items with the plans. Did you get any copies of any of this stuff? The memos?
Nick and Mickey, Joe and I are working with them to get their
Okay.
plans. They don't have the final plan in yet because they didn't want to do anything until see how the board felt about the house. So Joe and I will work with Phil and Joni and get everything taken care of under the FEMA requirements and take care of that.
Okay. All right, very good. So I'm going to close the hearing and reserve decision. And like I said, we're going to need Suffolk County Planning, so we're going to at least reserve it for a week. Thanks for coming out.
So for the next application of Christopher Gangstetter, we were told that we had Tim Jordan representing the applicant. Okay, I see him waving. Give us a moment, Mr. Jordan. And then is your client going to be on the call as well? Denise, I can't unmute him.
He has himself muted. I can't unmute him either.
All right, sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Just saw that. Just saw that.
Mr. Jordan, was
Yeah.
your client, Christopher or Nikki Gangstetter, going to participate tonight?
They wanted to be available, but I see they're not here, but we could proceed without them if they're not here.
Okay.
Okay. For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated June 8, 2020, environmental control memo dated April 7, 2020. To approve this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Christopher Henn dated August 27, 2019, tax map acting as an area map, and
There were no photographs.
okay. What would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, as you know, I'm here representing Chris and Nicole Gagstetter, and they're looking to do a two-story addition off the rear of the house. This two-story addition is going to be following the existing footprint of the dwelling that is are permitted and CO'd. There were other variances that were triggered, however, that it does not, it mainly due to aggregate and the existing house, the way it is laid out. We're currently asking for an encroachment on that side yard at 0.7 feet. So not even a foot on the actual affected area.
What side, on the north side, 9.3,
Correct,
south side, 8.2, which is existing already?
correct.
Okay, so you're going straight up, we're not going any further, encroaching any further into the side yards.
Correct.
Okay, and the last thing is total side yards, because there's short side yards, so you don't need that either, but that's been existing and that's how it has been all along.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So it's just going up.
Two-story, dormering out, 2 stories, kitchen expansion, and a master bedroom.
Okay. All right, any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? The record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision, keep the record open for 1 week. Okay. Thanks for coming down. But thanks for getting on, not coming down.
Okay, thank you. Is that all you need?
That's all we need. Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
My pleasure. Thank you for your time.
Okay. Next application is application 20041 of 27 Collision Inc., property located in North Babylon.
So we have Daryl Conway as representing this applicant, but we don't have anyone on the line. Denise, do you see anyone in the waiting?
No, no one in the waiting area.
Oh, that is the last application.
So I'm seeing that that was noticed for a little bit later in the evening. Perhaps Mr. Conway is not on the line yet.
Okay. You want to go on? We'll go on to some other business and we'll come back to this.
I think that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Pam?
Moving on to the remainder of the agenda. The application of Santos Calderon is adjourned until June 25th. Moving on to reserved decisions. The application of P&P Motors remains reserved. The application of VL10 remains reserved. Moving on to American Racing Headers and Exhaust. The application remains reserved pending fire marshal satisfaction.
Anthony did go on to the site and they just reopened, so we need to give them a little time to get operating. You're welcome.
Thank you. Moving on to Basilico Materials. That remains reserved pending planning board. The record with the planning board is staying open for 2 more weeks. Moving on to J&J Wanjari Corporation, doing business as Christie's Smoke Shop. That application remains reserved for a meeting between town attorney and planning. Moving on to G&J Bestway 2 Auto Repair. That is also remaining reserved pending fire marshal issues. Moving on to the applications from last week. Application 20028, Kulkunis LLC. The record remained open. Chris Alvino, the architect, had agreed to move the garage up. I suggest we wait for revised plans and an updated memo on that and keep the application reserved. I take it nothing's been received yet, correct, to planning?
No, I have nothing yet.
Okay. Moving on to application 20033, Cleaver Sanchez. The property is located in West Babylon. There were no recommended conditions. The board can move. The applicant did request a longer approval period than the 1 year granted last time.
Mr. Weintank?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve application 20-033 for a period of 3 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to H&M Environmental Inc. The property is located in Farmingdale. The board can move as the time period has ended for public comment, and the applicant's representative requested a longer time approval on this as well, longer than the previous 1 year approval.
Okay.
Properties in Farmingdale.
I will make a motion on application 20019 to approve it for a period of 2 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to application 20036, David Penna. The property is located in West Babylon. The board can move.
Very good. I will make a motion to approve application 20-036 for the restrictions must be filed before it becomes effective. And that's it, yeah. Oh, for a period of 3 years.
I'm sorry, was there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Doris.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pam, John
Yes,
said, are we,
Yes, John, we noted that, that you had recused in the deliberation. We'll note that you're recusing in the vote, abstaining in the vote as well. Do we have Mr. Conway yet?
I don't
No?
believe so, Pam. No.
Moving on to correspondence. There is a letter, item number 1 in your correspondence from Rick Campos regarding ZBA 19-128 CACO properties. There are no changes to the variance. However, they are submitting revised plans. Just planning of anything to add on that.
They had an approval and permit to repair and the house, but they wind up taking the house down. It's the same plans that the board approved previously, so really there is no problem. I just want the board to know it's a new house now.
Property is located in Deer Park. Were there any questions from the board?
I think we're good.
Can mark that read and filed. Okay, moving on to accepting the minutes. We have minutes from February 6th, 2020.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes. of February 21.
Second.
All in favor?
aye,
There are the minutes to accept from March 5th, 2020.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I wasn't there.
And there are the minutes from May 14th.
Make a motion to accept the minutes of May 14th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We can now just await Mr. Conway.
He is there now, so we could let him in. Okay.
Okay, application 20041 of 27 Collision Inc., property located in North Babylon. Mr. Conway, you on?
I am, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Darrell J. Conway, 57 West Main Street, Babylon, New York, appearing on behalf of the applicant, 27 Collision Inc., located 835 Sunrise Highway, North Babylon, New York.
Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated June 9th, 2020, environmental control memo dated April 7th, 2020. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. The fire marshal's report dated June 11th has a valid permit. We do not have Suffolk County planning on this as of yet. A survey by Jack Allison Hall dated February 2nd, I think, 2001. Tax map acting as an area map. And
3 photographs.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Mr. Chairman, this is a auto body repair shop located 835 Sunrise Highway, North Babylon, New York. Tax map is District 100, Section 160, Block 1, Lot 33. It's the northeast corner of Sunrise Highway and Falmouth Road in North Babylon. It's zoned E-business. The application is for a renewal of a special permit to operate a public garage as an auto body and repair shop. The Zoning Board of Appeals staff was kind enough to send me the planning board memorandum concerning this matter, and I concur wholeheartly. It's a site that's been approved as an auto body shop since its infancy, which is actually was back in 1971 and has continued to receive the board's approval since that time in the numerous applications that are recited in the memo. It's my understanding, as Mr. Esposito indicated, or I certainly personally have seen it many times, it's a clean and it's a clean operation. It does not have any town violation. It's warrants being renewed for another 10 years.
Smooth.
Let's turn the hearing over to Mr. Shepherd.
I have no questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We're going to hold the record open for a week. We need Suffolk County Planning, but we're going to hold it open in case anybody wants to comment for a week also.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.
Nice seeing everybody.
Night.
Take care, Mr. Conway.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. You good?
Concludes the business.
That's it. How's everybody? Good?
Mickey, you're looking good, Mick.
Tomorrow, I made an appointment today for the barber for tomorrow. They